Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Dota 2 Champions League. We're here in Season 9, powered by Epic Esports events, as well as Face It. I'm Lysander Zadora, going to be joined here by Mike Loris. We are having Evil Corporation face up against the Sanguine Sharks. After Game 1 stall fest, we got Sharks finally winning after a huge team fight with their Evil Corporations, carry having no buyback. So now they're in Game 2, battered, weathered, and seeing if we'll take it to a third one. Mike, how are you doing? Are you awake? You did?
Oh, I'm ready to go.
Oh yeah, it's daytime for you
I hope that the game is a little bit more concise, because no one likes long, drawn-out farm fests like that. But yeah, Sanguine Sharks' play was pretty good outside that laning phase. I think that the advantage that Evil Corporation got was decent, but then they really failed to kind of exploit that with using your Blink Dagger and Sand King to actually good effect. They kind of were just a little bit lax on that, so I do favor Sanguine Sharks slightly just going into this, and after what I saw now in Game 1, I'm a little bit more confident in my initial assessment. But hey, OD first pick going up against the Sand King Omni Knight combo of EC. And this is a pretty powerful duo from Evil Corporation lane-wise.
Yeah, definitely gonna give a thumbs up to that after the performance of the Omni in the previous game, so decided to give it a whirl themselves. So always draw inspirations from your opponent's draft. I think sometimes those captains, I don't know, like you see something happening, it's like, well, we can do that. Then you put down your beer and you draft it next game.
Yeah, I mean, there is an element of that. There is an element of this combo is just sick together, so you could justify it that way as well. I mean, Omni Knight just as a hero is pretty darn good up against OD. They are also going to ban out that Shadow Demon. They did it last time, or a team did it last time to protect against the Omni Knight against the Demonic Purge. So Sanguine Sharks right now at this point should be looking for a safe lane hero who should be happy to get a Diffusal Blade. Otherwise, OD's damage output just drops to 0 if he's not able to use orbs on repelled targets.
Well, the Shopper did play a big part in the last game as well, pulling back the Luna when it mattered, killing key heroes, shutting down the pushes. So this game, we'll see how Sharks decide to run it. They again being very, very clean with their draft, or I don't know what other word to describe it with, but they remember to ban the Husker.
Don't want to be hit with any sort of cheese. It's a possibility whenever you're going up against an Omni Knight. Some teams may just figure, we don't want to waste our ban on something that's probably not going to happen. We're just going to pick heroes that are good against Huskar. I think OD is already a decent hero at that with the pure damage nature of Arcane Orb. But, it's better to be safe than sorry, right?
Alright. Well, the Razor... Okay, yeah, Razor is pretty good against OD, but I feel like there are more solutions to Razor than there is a need to ban him. But I'm not a pro player.
5 seconds remaining.
In my opinion, Razor does well in a 1v1, but put another hero against him, he doesn't do that well anymore. So
reserve time.
All you have to do is
pick an Ogre. Yeah, these teams don't pick Ogre, I realize. Or was it banned? I don't think Ogre's ever banned, right? So not picking Ogre, these
game
guys.
Game 1 it wasn't. It was in the previous series banned once, I think. Ogre OD is certainly a thing. They may have to watch out for a sniper pick, in which case, get into his face, anticipate heroes, or pick up heroes that will be willing to jump into people's faces. Axe is one of them. PA is another one, and again, if you can intersect that with jump into people's faces and have a Diffusal Blade, that's golden. Axe is not really great at Diffusal Blade carrying.
Yeah.
10 seconds remaining.
Well, I like X because of how it counters repel.
5 seconds remaining.
I mean, not counters repel, but is a disable that goes through repel. But X is vulnerable to heal bombs, so doesn't want to be that close. But apart from that, I think X has always left a pretty good impression in my mind. Being a versatile hero, dunks give you move speed for the fights to really advance further on the enemy, and No, it has some synergy with the hammer, I guess. And now with the
They
timber
have,
saw.
they have a ton of ways to isolate heroes, like just with blink axe calls, glimpse, obviously, OD with his imprison. We'll make it so that Evil Corporation have really got to watch out there with their positioning. Like Timbersaw right now is an okay set of matchups up against Sanguine Sharks, not great, but you know, just decent with Repel. It gets a little better later on. But he usually is a hero that's just going to be kind of out, you know, without all that much backup. But now he's got to watch out for just so many things. Like everyone on Sanguine Sharks has some form of lockdown right now.
Yeah. It's definitely fun to see a Rubik again. You know, stealing Barrel Strike is always a super thing. There's Chakram, there's Purification, there's Repel. Already a lot of good things that Rubik can steal. The instant lift is always going to be a bonus as well. The thing is, what do they pick up as their safe lane over here? I do think that picking a natural diffusal carrier this time might be more efficient.
Yeah, I mean, these supports from Sanguine Sharks are also fairly low damage. Like, they're very, very control heavy between the Disruptor and the Rubik, so they will need someone to really pack a punch. You know, you could always look towards the safe heroes like Juggernaut. Slark is pretty good up against Evil Corporation, especially now that there's a Phoenix pick. The Phoenix pick is odd, actually. There is, I mean, a lot of healing now for Evil Corporation, which is, I guess, kind of nice. But usually you don't want to play Phoenix up against this amount of control. I guess there's not much attack speed on Sanguine Sharks. That's kind of okay, but Sanguine Sharks can probably easily pick up like a Weaver right now and be okay with that.
I like Weaver. The burst is a lot though to worry about, so maybe not Weaver. I think a diffusal carrier is important. Although I would not recommend a PL. Ursa is great, but yeah, I wouldn't recommend PL. Because when you say diffusal, immediately you think of that. Do you think do you think Spectre is still relevant in 2016? Kappa.
You have to have the right environment for her. This is kind of a tough one because when you haunt, like, there's no, you could cancel some blink daggers and whatnot, but there's no like easy kills to get with haunt, and she is also with Rubik Disruptor kind of weak in lane. Like Spectre's just not a strong laner, so you would like someone who's kind of high damage who can go well with these two supports. I think Ursa's probably on top of that list. Morphling is also a possibility. You want it to be agility.
Well, this shuts down aggression. I still think OD against a Medusa is still OD favorite to an extent. If Medusa gets some big snake hits off, it could be problems.
10 seconds remaining.
Right?
Sanguine Sharks don't really have a ton of mana manipulation on their team aside from that OD in the Arcane Orb, which is pretty good. But as far as applying pressure to the Medusa, Sanguine Sharks don't really have that. Like, their draft is kind of angled towards the late game. Invoker.
Crosswax.
Okay, so yeah, there's your EMP for the Medusa. It's also incredible versus Timbersaw and Omni Knight. It's gonna be a safe lane Invoker mid OD. That's a interesting way to go.
Yeah. Safe lane Invoker then probably doesn't go for Crosswax. Safe lane will go for Exort, I think. It does. Right? Because you wanna cheat out the farm and get levels.
You also have like a Rubik and Disruptor, so you want to use the Telekinesis and Glimpse to set up for a Sunstrike. So it is probably going to be an Exort-based Invoker.
But then again, because it's the safe lane, you can get away with picking Crosswax because your damage, your low damage isn't going to be as punished as it is in the safe lane. In the mid lane. So we can think along that lines. Like, EMP is good against a few heroes.
Admin done goofed, by the way, guys. Has EC with the win.
Kappa. But yeah, so if you're just tuning in, Sharks are one game up, and loser of this set goes home. If Sharks wins this, they win 2-0. EC goes home. If EC win this, we go to game 3. So simple as that. We're gonna introduce the teams. Bush gonna play that Omni Knight. We have Charlie on the Phoenix, Tolara, Sand King again. This guy only plays one hero. Nox on the Medusa, and it's gonna be a mid Timbersaw. So They don't want to put the Medusa against OD, and Sharks gonna find that out very soon.
First game doesn't count, only second and third game. Feels pretty terrible, man. But yeah, on the Shark side, Soleri is gonna be handling that Rubik Slash Strike, the OD. Evoker, same team as the OD, Stormstormer on that hero, got Dale on the Evoker, and Senny, whenever he joins in, gonna be handling that Disruptor. So yeah, this is gonna be an interesting draft for Sharks. OD as, I mean, I guess OD and Invoker usually fill the same role, right? So just that kind of mid-game hard hitter. Scaling into late game is pretty good. I'm not really sure if they can like super pressure the Medusa, like the way you want to play up against Medusa is just, you know, run into her really early and often. And usually OD and Invoker need a little bit of time before they get going. Like this isn't your Drow draft.
Unless it's Quaswex. There is that Alacrity combo that they might be looking at on the OD, right? Really toss out those orbs.
That is pretty powerful.
Okay, so if we're looking for pushes here, do we go for Alacrity, Force Spirits, Exort build, and then Meteor combo on top of whoever X calls? Could be a possibility. Have that Sunstrike set up with the OD. Oh yeah, I just thought about it. You can actually set up Sunstrikes perfectly with OD, so he can go for solo kills. Could be cool.
You could Sunstrike with the OD and the Axe.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that Extort is really good for the laning phase for Sharks, and that might just be powerful enough for them to have to go for. But in the mid-late game, they want to also have a powerful EMP. Everyone on EC there.
You gotta pick one, I guess. You gotta pick one. If you want that control, the EMP to shut down Medusa, then you gotta go Quaswex at the early stages. Get that face boots, maybe even build to an urn. Some invokers like to do that. And get the cold snap urn going. But EMP is only gonna be effective for Medusa in the start, because once he gets late, she has a lot of mana items. It's not really gonna hurt her anymore.
I mean, if it is going to be a safe lane Invoker, we could also assume there's going to be a super quick Hanamitis. So I'm still expecting an Exort opening here. He gets Exort for the Sunstrike at level 1. Doesn't really mean it's an Exort build. But the build for Invoker item-wise, almost exclusively in a safe lane scenario, should be as fast as a Hanamitis as you can possibly get. Did he just buy the Courier? He did.
Okay.
I think he did.
Oh,
Maybe
they're
not. Maybe it dropped
cheap
and then he
now.
grabbed it.
They're cheap now. But I see Disruptor be pretty poor, so I don't think that's going to be the case. But EC run that offlane Omni Knight this time. Everyone's using the same set, so it's very hard to differentiate people.
Classic Burrow Strike Purify combo. It is very powerful, but up against, you know, all these ranged heroes, it's going to be a little bit difficult to land. Sand King doesn't have any Windlace boots opening. Booch does, but you know, that's not really entirely relevant. So yeah, it is going to be really hard hitting if it lands. Not really sure how easy that is going to be. Sharks have a Observe Ward in lane. Does this Observe Ward actually do anything in top lane?
I don't know. Like
If you want to put it
I
like
guess,
over here, right?
yeah, you didn't want to plop it there. Maybe he's feeling that his OD. Wait, who's mid? Invoker's mid. Okay. Oh, we're gonna fight here. Tolera gonna start things off. We're gonna pick the bounty rune. Invoker gets it, so that's nice to get, but he might just go down here as first blood. It is gonna go down first blood, so Charlie will score that one. They don't even get Tolera. He pops the self, keeps himself alive. Senny in trouble. That's your second blood going to EC, so Evil Corp gonna get that. Tolera gonna be dodging the Sunstrike perfectly. Wouldn't have killed him anyway. And OD going safe lane and Invoker mid. Okay. Okay.
Well, this is a little bit of a twist. I don't really think it's going to change the way this is played out too much. Invoker dying there, I mean, at least he got the bounty rune, but is going to be going up against a lane that's kind of unfriendly. He will have the Exort leveled up, so he's going to be able to trade hits at least somewhat, and Sunstrike's still a possibility to help out with these side lanes between Telekinesis and the Glimpse and whatnot. This OD being on top lane has a little bit more counterplay versus the Burrow Strike Purification combo, since you could just imprison the Sand King if you're not going to get stunned. So it's definitely a safer way to lane this from Sharks.
Now in trouble. Gonna get lifted back. It's gonna be Barrel Strike over to the Disruptor, and he'll take a lot of damage, but no life-threatening situation right now. Phoenix still trying hard in the mid lane. And we'll see what he decides to build for. I was about to say he goes for beam, and yes he does. He goes for the long range beam on Invoker, just be annoying. And you already see Invoker at 200 health, so Medusa gonna get a lane. Yeah, very nice lane for herself. Now Buck gets banished there. Does that? Oh, is there a glimpse? No, no glimpse here on that Disruptor. Buck gonna take damage. He's a level 1 Omni Knight, doesn't have repel, so the Barrel Strike comes in on the Rubik, but is it gonna be enough? Right clicks come in and the Thunder Strike will land. OD takes the last hit, so now a kill on the board here for Sharks. So they've turned it back round.
If you look at this bottom lane, we have 2 of the spinners. Usually the way this lane goes is that no one gets any kills until level 6, in which case Timbersaw kind of is enabled. Trading hits is a little bit easier for Axe, I suppose, since his
no, he goes for the call
is
in the middle of the creep wave, but he does get hit by a Whirling Death. Waiting for some lucky spins here to take out Kali, but already a lot of damage here from this Whirling Death. They slow him down, and the right click should be enough there. Mango pop. Got him.
2v1 scenario when your Axe really isn't lucky with the spins. Not much you could do about that. So this lane is usually, unless the Timbersaw makes some pretty disgusting mistakes, going to be Timbersaw favored by the end of it. Like CS wise, it usually is pretty even, but the end result is Timbersaw ends up drawing the lead. So I mean, it's pretty much to be expected. But still, Sharks have completely smashed this top lane. This is not really a live lane for EC, so losing a little bit of momentum on your Axe is not the biggest deal in the world, since you're going to have a free farming safe lane OD who also still might just go straight for a blink, a Hand of Midas, not a blink.
Yeah, talk about the safe play security, being able to farm without disturbance. You can get a lot of different items you want. And you know, on hindsight, it is better to put this Invoker mid because of that damage he can have to contest this Medusa. Right now,
mid lane is also like right now just drawing even, pretty much to be expected.
Sanguine not putting the aggression in as he's used to, not going middle and just doing that roaming, stay his ground, farm up a little bit.
Another solar beam on bottom lane, but actually gets hit with the spin. Okay, I was gonna say it was gonna be kind of tough. But,
level 2 laser.
Yeah. Level 2 laser, level 2 whirling death. A lot more damage than I expected.
That stuff hurts, man. It does burn max HP, so no matter how tanky you are, you're still taking a chunk. Meanwhile, Invoker.
And Disruptor being here doesn't really help either. Like, what can he really do up against a Timbersaw or a Phoenix? He, I guess, can interrupt the Sunray with the glimpse, but it's only a level 2 glimpse.
Look at Senny looking for that reward again. They go for Axe. Axe gets called, and we'll pull that Timbersaw. Timbersaw is out of mana though, but this beam, holy crap, does so much damage. They kill the Axe again, and now Sharks really having a rough game number 2.
I mean, if it happens twice, usually it shouldn't happen a third time. I'm not really sure how he's constantly getting picked off by this.
Over levels.
The advantage for Timbersaw now is just amazing because he has Arcane Boots, so he can always go for that aggressive play along with that Phoenix. And it doesn't really cost Phoenix all that much either. He has Tranquil Boots, so health cost is negligible. And again, Disruptor isn't really helping by being here, so yeah, I think this is correct. Dale should not be on this bottom lane. He should just go jungle.
Own me taking a little bit of vacation there from that mid lane. Now OD very, very low. They're taking tower shots there. They're gonna slow him. He gets the banish. Phoenix tanking that banish, and now Lara coming in low as well. The beam coming on to Slash Strike. Will it be enough though? They have to go for the lift there on the Phoenix. He's dropping low, but not gonna be enough. And the Rubik will actually pick off that. We'll go for that lift. So in the end, Solari gets slowed by the Caustic. He's gonna pop, not gonna have that mana to continue, and now Buck gonna brought down by the OD orb. So 1 for 1.
Yeah, I mean the Sunray does quite a bit of damage. The Slash Strike had like half HP when that started out, so that was already pretty bold there from EC. No Sunstrike. help either, which could have made it even a little bit worse for the Evil Corporation side. They are, to their credit, trying to limit the farmer slash.
Oh, he saw this. Oh, survives on 7 HP. Meanwhile, Phoenix solo killing the axe there. Wow, he's not giving this axe a break. No chill. 3 points in laser.
Observer Ward saw his farming, so just gotta walk in with the laser, run him down, and there's not much counterplay there for axe. No long range disables on the hero. At least he has Iron Talent, so he can somewhat jungle, but
that's where he got caught.
His game is gonna be very slow.
Yeah, that's where he got caught. Alright, how's he looking here? Phoenix, Charlie. Has that Invis rune. Could look for Slash Strike here. Yeah, he uses the banish, so this could be go time here for the Sand King. Okay, he takes a lot of damage though, so probably not. Omni is there to heal, okay. The Power Strike open. Banish is ready again.
They're running out of Invis rune. I don't think they can. They can't get the surprise on him. If they Burrow Strike, Purify, Sunray, they can still make a kill, but. Oh, never mind. That's not a kill.
Still a good effort. Meanwhile, Thalera gotta take that farm here on the top lane. Getting banished again. Nothing rough for him. Tibasaurus.
This game is still going pretty much perfectly according to EC. Like even without a kill lead, even if you discount that, it's still a game where Medusa is not having to worry about anything. So she's free farming the mid lane. Timbersaw is free farming the bottom lane, and top lane, it's been definitely slowed down, and that's kind of a sacked lane. But as long as your Medusa and Timbersaw are farming on EC's draft, you're happy about that. Sharks, with this axe being behind, don't really have any way of easily getting momentum in this game. They really will lack ways of getting kills unless they get like a very high level glimpse.
DP out here from Phoenix. He was looking for a pick and then he saw too many supports that made him a little bit uncomfortable. Meanwhile, Timbersaw trying to look for a solo kill again. Disruptor is really chased away by Owned Me. CS led by Timbersaw, and then after that DOD net worth still led by Timbersaw as well, so try and kill him, but they end up giving kills to him.
I wonder if Slash Strike is going to get a hand of Midas. Invoker already has his. Pretty standard Invoker stuff. Senny is in a little bit of trouble actually. He's going to drop the Static Storm. Looks like he'll live.
Glimpse. They peel him back. But do they have the ulti? But nope, Repel stops the fun, so. It'll be pretty annoying. They set up that Sunstrike. This could be nice. There's the Sunstrike here on Owned Me. The Purification comes through. Is there gonna be enough? The Fate Ball as well. The orbs coming out. Is it gonna be a tick over? Still the orb coming out. The OD is lower mana. That's why it was doing no damage. And I was wondering why the orb did no damage. The OD lower mana, so the bonus damage didn't really cut in. And Owned Me manages to burst himself up to a really high end health pool. Owned Me now will get dunked. So that's a nice little return there. They get for a kill on their hero. But the dunk gonna be missing a second time there as Butch does shield himself with the Purification. Only for a short while more as they brought him down anyway.
It's still a great trade there for Sharks, even though they do lose the OD. Still, I mean, killing off the Timbersaw is great and everything, but they're not really pressuring the Medusa, who is going to be their problem hero. Gotta apply a lot of extra pressure to the Timbersaw moving forward, and they work so hard to just barely get the kill on that Timbersaw. It is much needed, but still, they would rather not be in a position where they have to work that hard to get a kill on the hero who's that important. So it's still a rough spot for Sharks to be in. EC won't even lose any sort of tower pressure there. Owned Me, though, is going to get glimpsed right back into the fountain, though. Cut all the trees on his way back.
That's good as well. The pressure is starting to mount up here for this tier 1 tower bottom. You can see that the main strategy for them is this one. Oh no, meanwhile Sand King getting caught there by Sharks, so now they bring up the score 7-5. So at this point, still anyone's game, you know. Sharks, they might be slipping a little bit, but only a little bit.
It looks like the game is turning into a very similar game as game 1 in the fact that EC had just better lanes, dominant lanes, and then Sharks kind of brought it back in the mid-late game. I mean, it's still far from that stage since Medusa is getting absolute free farm, but Sharks are starting to make some pretty good rotations, especially with this OD involving him very early on with this Force Staff build, as opposed to that Hand of Midas. Like, Sharks are gearing up for a very powerful mid game compared to what EC have.
It's the long con, like what Sharks did the last game. But Sharks, they gotta have a plan. Their heroes look fine this round. What's happening here in the middle
Sand
lane?
King is still on top with an Iron Talon and not getting that much farm.
Yep. As I click back, he's missing a CS. Oh, Disruptor is invis.
Static Storm here can get them an easy double.
Oh, that's Vanish. Let's start things off, but immediately Phoenix TPing in there. He doesn't have mana for the Sun as a result of using that Sunray. And now he gets blown up there. Big kill, big lift there from the Rubik. The Power Strike stolen once again, proving why such an amazing spell needs to go to Rubik. Now Solera getting hit by the Orb and the follow-up hammer are going to immediately take him out of the fight. Medusa trying to rack up stragglers. It will be Senny. Last hit there, slain by the supporter of Medu.
We'll get the tower deny as well, but does force everyone to come up towards his top lane. And for Sharks, it's still a, what, a 2-for-1? I think Omnites survived there barely. So, I mean, that was even a little bit of careless play from the Disruptor. He just walked right in, expecting backup, but there was no backup to be had there. I guess he didn't see the TP coming in, so it's still a reasonable exchange for the Sharks side. They're involving OD in a lot of these kills, which is very important if you go for this Force Staff build on OD, especially a safe lane OD. You need to get kills and you need to get farm, which is usually very, very hard. But he's somehow making it happen still. And in this time also, Dale is looking at a Blink Dagger, which he actually is going to get right now. So, you know, that small play up towards top of Sharks starting a little bit of a fight is going to get them the ability to start the next fight. And it's going to happen right on the Sand King.
Yep, they start the call. The Sunstrike is there at the tail end and there is no further assistance needed. It's shredded. And Invoker making up for himself. He's gonna smile every time a Sunstrike hits. Dale now gonna cut the creep wave, and not sure any heroes are left here campaigning for him.
The Invoker is also farming in this meantime, where the Axe is starting things, the OD is starting things. Voidstone into Blink Dagger. I mean, Voidstone for mana, sure, why not? But he is Blink Midas, so he is ready to start going in with a full Invoker suite of spells as well. And it should be after he builds Voidstone or something, and Aghanim's after
Laser.
that.
Oh no.
Is he gonna die to the Sunray?
Yeah, but a glimpse in there immediately deploys that sun. It's gonna roast down there. The Chakram's gonna find him. And Rubik running into it. He takes the Power Strike. He steals Supernova. There's the lift. He immediately drops the sun. Perfect there. Traps in the Timbersaw as well. What a crazy steal here from the Rubik. He won't even get the start across. Immediately refreshes his abilities. And now he catches that Supernova. Unfortunately for them, only 2 supports there. Not enough burst between the 2. And Mr. Omni Knight, fun spoiler, will actually get it. Oh, Charlie getting pulled back there. But there's the heal from Buck. What's he steal? He steals Repel.
Oh, TP.
Oh, nearly going down there to the Purify.
Yeah, Purify I don't think even hit. Just a little bit slow on the draw there. Rubik ends up with Repel. I mean, stealing Supernova is great and everything. It doesn't actually do a lot of damage versus someone like a Timbersaw who has 1200 HP. So, yeah, it's kind of mediocre there. Still a cute attempt, I suppose, for Sharks.
Oh, Dale has that Blink Dagger again. Jumping in. Once again, following up. Failing the math class. Solera does have the hammer. Doesn't drop it, actually, to kill off just a single Sand King. They go for the banish and love it. Banishing that Medusa. Once again, Dale. Oh, man. This Phoenix doesn't like him.
Well, misses a Culling Blade, which shouldn't really be happening, especially when you have
no hammer
commitment. At that
commitment.
angle. No, they're looking at bottom lane also. Chakram stolen.
Oh wow, dead.
Never mind. They still have a glimpse. Static Storm in 2 seconds.
Yeah, and they have the hammer as well. They burn the mana. Yep. Should be a kill. Sunstrike to come. Nice silence there. Will block the Omni Knight from casting spells. There's the Cold Snap. There's the Repel. He's still getting blocked there. The Cold Snap just counters up his cast animation and will not be able to get Repel in time. And now this Alacrity being enabled. There's a high level of X Swords. And, we were thinking it was going to be a Cross Wax, but now with this good start of farming, Sharks are ready to come out and bite.
he can still get a lot of points in Wex pretty quickly, considering how much free space the Invoker is able to get in this game. Also, looking at Slash Strike, has his Hurricane Pike completed, so OD's game is a lot safer from here on out. And yes, this Medusa is still farming. Yes, that is still a concern for Sharks. They are starting to kind of collapse the map around the Radiant base. They're starting to apply the pressure on an almost global scale, and Nox is spotted. It looks like they can't go for him, but soon enough, the Medusa is going to have to be a little bit more desperate in where she wants to farm, because Sharks have kind of all the momentum and have the ability to call the shots. That will change
again.
once Sand King gets his Blink Dagger, but he's nowhere close to that.
Is he nowhere close? Oh yeah, he is. 600 gold. Might be just a win lace. Better have a gem. Wow. That is next level teabagging, if I have ever seen one.
Well,
It's like he lowers his eggs on you.
They had to make that. I mean, he was already dead, so it's just the safe play, I suppose.
Yeah. Breakaway.
But losing the
trees.
Invoker is expensive for Sharks. They need this guy to keep farming, because Invoker OD, that's their late game.
Oh, there's still a little bit of X in there as well, I think.
I don't have a lot of respect for Axe late game.
Late game?
Or maybe that's just me.
Late game is just a control, right?
Yeah, it's like a BKB piercing call.
It is a
He's
BKB
tanky,
piercing
but-
call.
He's not even like tanky and disruptive, really. Like after that call, you just kind of walk away and ignore him. But the call is value because it clumps enemies together, keeps them there, so that OD, Invoker, and
Uh-oh, X again. He sees Phoenix and is like, ah, come on. But he blinks away in time. And now they glimpse back a target. It will be a Timbersaw. Do they get out of there? Nope, looks like Sandy is going to fall. He dropped the silence. Not the best use of it.
DC are starting to find some picks. They need a lot more picks if they're going to get the Sand King a Blink Dagger anytime soon.
Well, if there's
Phoenix has
anything I
been
know about.
overperforming, to say the least.
Yeah, the thing about this patch is that, you know, even if you don't farm early, you can actually succeed.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
He didn't farm for shit up towards top lane.
Radiant's
And I mean, Sand King especially can just be a straight up roamer, like the old school way of handling a Sand King.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
We shall see. Solari sitting in that middle lane with the magic stick, stealing up mana, farming a little bit, getting some money into his pockets.
They really want to make an aggressive play on Medusa here. They see her. Dale has the blink. They don't know where the Omni Knight is. That's the problem.
Yeah. He's
Going for
hiding.
Clara instead. Poor Sand King. Oh, no Static Storm actually.
They have Banish and they have the hammer as well. So if he tries anything funky, he's getting hammered. So he's gonna die there. KS by the bubble.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And again, more kills there.
Poor
going
Sand
into
King,
spawn.
man. He can't catch a freaking break.
Yeah. Not even this game. His ancestors will be telling him about this.
Tower is under attack.
I feel like Timbersaw
Sand
is
King
one of
going
those
down
heroes.
is unfortunate. It's really gonna slow EC's ability to make fights happen. Like the Medusa is still farming very, very well, but at a certain point you need to you know, start those fights. And Timbersaw is not gonna do it. Phoenix really can do it, and they're actually gonna catch Medusa.
Yeah, silence as well. The snake, the sunstrike. This might be the chance to kill him off. They're burning all his mana. He doesn't have enough now. And they glimpse one back and they still didn't kill him. I just realized that the Medusa has Linken's and Dragonlance 20 minutes. You were talking about well farmed, but that is insane.
Radiant's top tower is under
She just now picks up her Lincoln Sphere. It blocks telekinesis, which is, you know, wouldn't have made a difference there. But I mean, Sharks try to make that play without their OD, without their Invoker. Add a Meteor or a couple of Arcane Orbs to that gank, and you have a dead Medusa on your hands. But it's like the poor supporting cast trying to kill off the top farmer in the game is very impressive if you can do it, but you shouldn't be surprised if you can't do it.
Yeah, Solari, take the time to farm there in the bottom lane. Disruptor lying in wait. Let's look at the net worth. Disruptor looks like he is the ward guy. Very poor all the time.
Well, they're gonna find the Invoker, blink out.
Yeah.
See, this is
And,
why you need a Blink Dagger on Sand King, so you can actually get those kills.
Or an Aghanims and just barrel away from your palms. Well,
Both are good, but he has neither. Ags is a distant dream for Tolera right now. 1,700 golds, 20 minutes in. I've seen worse, but usually Sand King is expected to get like an incredibly fast blink dagger. Heroes like Slardar can usually take a little bit slower.
They won this tier bad. Oh, I see a tornado will start things off. They start on a very, very small tornado, trying to catch that Phoenix, and now Axe can't wait to get his hands on that Phoenix, but Invoker is gonna get that instead. And well, I think Axe is just gonna clap on the side like, yeah, it'll show him. But you know, Yule Scepter now pick up for the Timbersaw. Can't say I disagree. A nice last hit there from the Invoker once again. The Force Spirits doing their work for the Master.
He has Ags almost completed. Still has like awkward Void Stone in his inventory.
This is a super fast-paced game. It could be an Eel Scepter later on, and Timbersaw is there. Could have an Observer.
It might be for... I mean, it's obviously just for mana regeneration value in the early stages of the game, since early on as Invoker you do typically run low on mana. But at this point it's looking more like a sheep stick as opposed to anything else. Like Ags Octarine Sheepstick, or just Ags Sheepstick is pretty good.
Let's see if Sharks make the same mistake Evil Corp did and wait the late game. Instead of pressing their, pressing the issue there with well prepared team fight, leverage that Aegis. Don't really want to wake that one up. And it looks like Aegis is going to the Dire. Zero contest going on. Rick is there, just zapping the wave in preparation. The scan a little bit late, and it will be Aghanim's Invoker. And I mean, not Aghanim's Invoker. Yeah, Aghanim's Invoker, but Aegis Invoker. And Disruptor is about to walk into all of them. But the Sentry Ward, oh no, this Disruptor gonna get caught right away. No bailout for him. He just melts under the pressure. Doesn't even get that silence. They get the tier 1, but that's it.
He did not expect heroes to be there. Maybe he should have, though. They saw the Timbersaw there at least. I don't know if they saw anyone else there, but if you drop a Static Stormer on top of yourself, you probably live for at least a couple of seconds that your team might be able to respond. Losing Disruptor is not a big deal, so it's not the end of the world, far from it. But Soleri is playing things very brave. He wants a better spell than Whirling Death, but I don't think this is the time to look for it. So it's actually going to be EC to make a push here. That is kind of brave in their own right. Like, they could slowly siege a tower with Medusa, and they have the Blink Dagger Sand King, which I think should still be a surprise maybe, but they're going up against a double life Invoker who just grabbed an Axe.
Yeah. This Invoker is going to look to pressure this. You want this tier 1, you can have it, but this tier 2 is going to be ours. And now Tolera starts to the barrel strike. This Axe once again having a case of deja vu, but now coming in is that OD. He's going to force stuff away. He is now rock form, so he has to be careful. The nice force stuff from the teammate will self-banish. Glimpse there on that OD. Not gonna die for now, but he blinks away in the nick of time, and they survive. They cause a lot of damage. This tier 3 dropping so low, 400 health left remaining. So the Rat Invoker is working out for them. Meanwhile, Mr. Senny is probably gonna be the sacrificial lamb, but Invoker is taking this time to capitalize on this mistakes there. And now Medusa without her ultimate, very, very vulnerable. The dunk not even needed as the OD just throws another ball her way. And now the drop off the combo, the nice cold snap into the meteors are gonna make sure that he doesn't get out of there. So he does have the repel. The Sun Trek is there in case he doesn't get the dunk. And this time Dale doesn't botch up the math, and he will actually score that kill with the help of Invoker. Alright, I went from shaking my head to nodding it slightly.
Invoker wasn't even in that fight. Like, he was on the top lane pushing. Dealt with Tolera's incoming rotation, but dropped the tower down a good 1,000 HP, and then was still able to join the fight afterwards. Sharks just doing a great job at disengaging away from EC. Maybe because Tolera was a little bit cautious on his usage of the Blink Dagger there. Like, he walked in to the majority of that fight and just, I think got a Burrow Strike on Axe, was it, to start things off? For whatever reason, wasn't really what they wanted to do. And they used all their ultimates there as well, like Stone Gaze as well as the Supernova. Kind of counter synergy there since he just run away from it anyway, so they had Sharks on the run, but no heroes to actually chase Sharks down and kill them off, and that was the problem. They forced them back, but they couldn't get any kills.
Defensive much? They have been playing very reserved Dota. After game 1, would think that they decide to go more aggressive, but instead they actually draft for that late game where you overthink things.
Oh, is Invoker gonna try to solo Medusa?
I don't think he can, but he's gonna draw TPs and there is no disable here for him. He doesn't have to worry.
No, I think if the Medusa was just in the middle of nowhere, I think Invoker can actually do that. It's gonna take him a long time.
Observer scouts out the movement here. OD gets Euled up. This could be a nice jump here. Nice double barrel strike. The silence on top of that as well. The X jumping into all that nonsense. But now the Stone Gaze is coming in as Soleri trying to keep things alive there. He barrel strikes down to the low ground. They all have that ulti being spent. And the OD will actually blink away to safety. The Rubik should not survive. He does live. He gets hit by that fire strike. Does he have the barrel strike? Yes, he does. But he doesn't keep himself alive. But this Invoker in the back lines kills off 2 heroes. Both Phoenix as well as the Omni Knight. The barrel strike comes in. The snake is there. He does have Aegis though. He's not even going to use it. The Chakram's going to be a little bit short. OD and Disruptor holding back now. Invoker. Okay, he gets cut. Do they have the gem? Was that a guess? No, the sentry one on top. Okay. Barrel strike there as well, Chakram, and yeah, Invoker is gonna drop. So, big kill to get, killing spree, ended there, and the Sand King might chase. He's out of mana though.
Not
He's still
TPing
Soul
out.
Ring. They have the mana. Solera, does he know this? Okay, doesn't predict. But yeah, the Invoker.
That's the awkward situation that happens when your OD is leading the charge and you don't have any vision there. I mean, I guess the Axe should be leading the charge, although that wouldn't have been that much better. So the OD just, you know, immediately gets pinned down, and the Static Storm is forced out almost just purely reflex by Senny. It wasn't a good one, just, I guess, protected the OD somewhat, but didn't actually do any silence action, didn't do any stunning, didn't do any silence action, didn't do any damage. So the Disruptor ultimate was fairly mediocre there.
Uh-oh.
And now he's gonna die for his troubles up towards the top lane. EC just kind of get a freebie because they get the really good angled jump on the Sharks heroes without the Invoker being in the fight from the very beginning.
And there's Omni Knight just sitting behind Nox to make sure that he doesn't get caught. And is there Diffusal? No. So this Omni Knight might turn back to be one of the more effective picks here. I see heroes running away, letting this tier 2 just fall without a challenge.
Dire's middle tower is under
Invoker
attack.
doing his split
Pushing
farming again.
bot.
Yeah, he's hitting really high levels in Wex, so Tornado is going to become powerful soon.
Wex also increases the disarm duration of your Deafening Blast.
Yeah, oh, now the Barrel Strike going onto the Rubik. Is he gonna pop? He is. Yep, the right click here. Gonna take him out. And Invoker, meanwhile, gonna use Scepter. And the beam is there as well. The Barrel Strike gonna come in. Nice little jump away. He forced staffed away by his teammates. Now the Force Spirits jab away at Tolera. Nice force staff save there. The Chakram goes out. Might be a bit far in. Back up for now. Observer Ward keeps eyes on them.
I feel like Sharks just haven't taken a fight where they're all together. Like, not a single one. Like, the OD's just a little late to the party. The Invoker's always a little bit late to the party. And that's, like, not the worst thing in the world if you're just looking for a stall outplay, but that time they weren't. I'm not sure what that glimpse was about, but they may lose this tier 1. They have to make sure not to lose any heroes. They just have to wait
Dual
and
Scepter
stall
on
Invoker
Disruptor.
pushing top.
I think Slash is just waiting here at the back lines. But I don't think he wants to push into that. Sun is wasted. They only get the Disruptor kill.
is under attack.
Maybe they go for a pick off here. Phoenix.
Oh,
Radiant's
Invoker top.
Banish. Invoker top gets caught. Now they banish up that Phoenix, but they're not ready to give up just yet. Mr. Nox turns on the Stone Gaze, and again, this pure beam is just so much to deal with for the Axe. And Sharks losing heroes left, right, losing their Invoker, who is actually supposed to split push.
Dire's bottom tower is
Problems.
Oh, they're going back in.
OD.
Get a free Phoenix. I guess that's not bad.
It's not really free.
Really gonna look for more. Kind of.
Still trying to go in.
And these Sharks fights have been very underwhelming. Like, Static Storms have been pretty bad. They haven't really used Blink Call, I want to say, like, ever in this game, at least not to a substantial degree of team fight. So if you're in a stalling situation like that, you just have to make sure not to die. You have to try to pull out some ultimates, use your force stabs and whatnot in order to get out from the enemy ultimates. But so far it hasn't really been happening like that. The Yule Scepter on Timbersaw has actually been an all-star to make sure that Sharks stay in those fights, just stalling them out. And I think, did I see another Yule Scepter being picked up?
Yep, that goes to the Sand King.
Yeah, there you go. So more ways of keeping Sharks in the fight. Sharks really aren't confident in their ability to fight, although I do think they probably should be. Like, they have a lot of power, especially since now they have 2 sheep sticks on the OD and the Invoker and a fresh Ag from the Rubik. Like, they can take a fight.
Yeah. Double damage from Medusa. Roshan is up. So another long challenge happening here. But the last time we lost the fight was in that Roche pit. So we're gonna learn their lesson. Oh, this game taking that chill.
Is up.
Taking that chill corner again. Alright, let's just kick back and enjoy a couple of drinks while you watch me farm.
I'm pretty sure Invoker can solo Roche, or at least come very close to it. You know, just invest like a Rubik or whatever in that pit, a little bit extra DPS. But it does seem like Roshan should be what Sharks are angling towards. As long as they set up observer wards beforehand, they got to see when EC are coming. They do not want to get caught in the Roche pit up against Stone Gaze, Epicenter, Phoenix. That's bad times there.
Yeah. Well, you
Radiant's
see,
bottom tower has
they're gonna
fallen.
start recognizing that people are not on the map anymore and that the Invoker is solo pushing.
A lot of deep Radiant vision actually in the Dire jungle. And the Invoker's not going to expect this. He's going to need some help. He's dead.
Huh?
Radiant's bottom
He's dead.
My, get out. The banish coming out here. The Hex there onto the Sand King. It's gonna be enough. The hammer is dropped. The Invoker does bail in time, but now the Stone Gaze, he turns to stone. He drops the Meteor. Gets hit there by an arrow. He will drop. The mana is not going to be enough there. The OD will have that laser beam on him. He blinks away to safety. Once again, that Medusa being a troublesome party here for them. And the Yule Scepter once again on own beam gets lifted up. The Axe will call maybe. Yeah, Burrow Strike nicely stolen. But again, a lot of heals, a lot of repels. And oh, nice OD coming in with that Hurricane Pike. Could be looking for another one on maybe Buck. Fires out those orbs pretty quickly. Already at a high Intel Steel 28 to be exact. There's Rubik actually has the Aghanim Scepter, so those long range barrel strikes are gonna be real. Now Dale finally is like sick and tired of your spells. He pops that BKB, goes in for that Timbersaw. Timbersaw is low, he's about 400 low. Will it be enough? The barrel strike coming in again, dropping him low, jumps in for a triple call, jumps in after a single spin. Medusa is still pretty much full, so has to pull back. Slash strike is going in for the Yomi Knight, who is now out of mana. They pop the Hex there. Medusa may be tanked, but once you start losing intel like that, you will not have the mana for any kind of security. Slash Strike is now godlike with 4 kills, I think, in that game. In that fight, I think he's separately killed 4 heroes. So big props to him after escaping a combo.
It was something like that. It was. I just want to note the Invoker decided to turn around Deafening Blast instead of using Scythe of Vice, which otherwise could have kept the Medusa out of his face, and maybe he could have actually survived that initiation. Sharks, again, were not there as a full 5-man team. The Disruptor was left behind on the bottom lane, so it took him a little bit longer to come in. And of course, you know, the Invoker was pretty much picked off before anything else started, so that's not a good way to start those fights. Yet despite that, OD just remaining on the periphery of that fight, always poking and prodding. The Axe played that fight magnificently as well. Rubik was very, very restrained with his use of Spell Steal. He decided to hold on to Barrow Strike the entire time instead of grabbing any sort of Timbersaw damage output, which you know, worked out okay for them, although I do think he could have gotten more value out of it.
X Barrow Strike, though.
Sharks was,
it's an X Barrow Strike.
That fight for Sharks was pretty bad, honestly, but it still worked out because of how Slash Strike was running around with no pressure on him. Yeah,
the thing is that Aghanim's Barrow Strike is just too good, right? You don't want to give that up.
He didn't even like use the Aghanims of the Burrow Strike.
I think it allowed him to survive though. Not sure. But I think he's still really strong. If you take Chakram, you might not have the mana for it, but Burrow Strike, you can bet your life you always have the mana for it, as well as the cooldowns you don't have to be so reliant on.
And Spell Steal being level 3, or I guess level 2, applies to the Burrow Strike stolen, so he's going to have it for a long time now. A lot of initiation range on Soleri, and he's going to need it right about now. Not.
Nope. Oh, they're searching. They're searching. Chain away. Should be okay.
This game is still incredibly even at this stage. I think the difference makers is going to be the fact that, well, EC have kind of under-farmed supporty heroes. The Phoenix is actually going towards an Aghanim Scepter of his own. If you can somehow refresh your Medusa with that, that's absolutely nuts. Timbersaw is almost just as nuts.
You can use it with
very,
the
very
gaze.
risky item.
Use it to gaze. They can't hit the egg, and then you ride both together with full health and full mana. And reset basic abilities.
But if your egg dies, everyone in the egg dies as well. So
You only can take one person, so yeah, you'll count. It'll count as a death. But it's fun.
one of like
It's a fun
the
build.
more potentially powerful Aghanim ultimates, but it just has the most risk out of all the Aghanim ultimates, since you don't want to end up killing your Medusa or your Timbersaw or anything like that.
Yep. But I hope what Sharks are just holding back. They already have the Aegis. What are you waiting for? What items are we missing across the board here? I feel like they have all the items for a push. They should make it happen now. Don't do the same mistake that EC did last game, which is to stall and then lose late game. But oh, the smoke! Is it gonna be revealed? They'll see the observer. Meanwhile, Rubik gonna eels himself. He dodges that Barrow Strike. He steals the Barrow Strike now. The Barrow Strikes away. The X again dying to that Phoenix. 68 seconds on the sidelines. Disruptor, please. Disruptor has to really watch
Push on
himself
the bot
there.
lane is gonna prevent EC from making any big plays. Losing the axe there is pretty costly. Sharks just really have a really big aversion to just grouping up and making a play, which is kind of questionable in my eyes with an Invoker and an OD. An OD, by the way, who has a 10-second BKB charge. Like, that's the item you want to have if you're gonna make a full 5-on-5 happen. Invoker has one as well, so like I don't really know what they're scared of here.
Well, BKB fresh. It's gonna help him dodge some of the spells that have been pretty annoying to him. Doesn't block gaze still though. So gonna have to play
Still
that one
gets
safe.
stunned by the supernova, but you
I
can
think
still
ultimately is
back
what
the
it stops the fire spirits. It stops the Barrow Strike, which is annoying. The mana snake, purification, Timbersaw. So you can't exactly burst the Invoker. It's what he's planning to do, and he's been very elusive this game, keeping one person keeping the entire team on his heels, which is actually really good on its own already.
You know, if he had level 2 travels, I think I would be a little bit more okay with this playstyle. Just so, because he could teleport in on his axe or his OD or whatever, and then actually just be in the fight when he needs to. But when you're going up against a Timbersaw, Medusa, and Phoenix, you can't really depend on being able to teleport into a creep wave to join a fight, because odds are the creeps are just going to die to something random.
Right now,
You think he needs level 2 travels now?
does he?
I mean, what else is he going to get, right?
He has still one more slot. Octarine.
Yeah, it's probably Octarine to replace the Aegis, which is actually running out of time. Just be
Is this
about
call?
a minute or less.
Yeah.
Less.
These teams always just trying to leverage that Roche timing, but sometimes just take too long to do things. That's gonna be an EMP tornado. It's gonna miss. Plopping away at the tower. Alacrity up. Still wants to stand his ground. And EC not gonna make the rookie mistake of defending high ground. Or rather, to defend high ground. Deafening blast.
Power
Landing.
down.
Now, oh no, the Aegis! Down. This is a bad time to banish here. Will keep him alive. Nice hex there on the Sand King, but immediately gaze, and they are forced to back off. They hex another one. There's that Ghost Wall. Needs to turn into that Ghost Wall and escape right away. Sentry Ward's gonna be there. The BKB on the X. He's gonna blink away. Now that the ultimates are down, it's time for the OD to go ham. He's going ham. One more ball here onto Phoenix. Will find him. Beyond Godlike on that OD. He's stolen 24 int now. It's about to hit huge. That hammer, holy crap, takes out that Omni Knight, and Nox is repelled. So he's doing a little bit of damage. The Timbersaw, meanwhile, finds the Invoker. Despite him managing to avoid the fight earlier on, the Barrow Strike on the Rubik still keep things fresh there. This this Hex on the Timbersaw is going to find him. And the right click's coming in. There's the chain. Triple kill here for this. Triple kill for the Timbersaw. But meanwhile, in OD Town, he does find that kill. And okay, the banish coming out on that Timbersaw. He is still very farm. 8 seconds to that Hex. And this Timber is a real problem actually with 20 Bloodstone charges.
Timber and Medusa survive. Invoker in the meantime does get picked off. It's just like the worst timing to make that type of play when your Aegis is being reclaimed like that.
And this is the whole wait
They
for Aegis
once again
thing.
had a really bad static storm. The disengage away from the Stone Gaze and Supernova was reasonable, but they couldn't actually all reinitiate afterwards, so they were really slow at kind of trickling in. Invoker got caught in the back end of that fight, which is not where he wants to be. So again, Sharks team fighting has not really been up to snuff compared to what EC have, and EC are just so tanky that they can afford to make a couple of positioning mistakes in the fights and just have Medusa and Timbersaw just wait on through the fights, knowing that they're just not going to die very easily.
Oh. Slash Strike has been doing his part, man, carrying his team on his back, but the Axe has just not been having his game well. It's just been that bird, pesky bird, tilting him almost.
All Sharks have to do is just blink Hex someone. Like, that's it. I make it sound easy. Obviously, positioning wise, it's not the easiest thing to do. But they have 2 heroes who can do that.
Yeah.
A blink call also will work. They just have never done that.
Because they've always gotten jumped.
It's gonna happen one more time here. Like, Sharks are gonna get initiated upon.
Yep. Axe again. Poor Axe. Getting caught out. He BKBs. He's gonna escape now. The EMP will burn them. It's still a little bit more. Blink away from Axe. The rock come down. And the Axe will bail. Heals himself. There'll be no kill for here. They'll TP out. The Axe getting space bot for team, I guess. Mass TPs come down and hey, we're back to square one. We're back to farming, pushing lanes, and keeping equilibrium at where it is. So far, Stormer. It's really hard for him to get that rat going. EC have been very vigilant at keeping him at bay.
Slash Strike has a big item. Hyperstone.
Mhm.
More damage output. He
Assault
already has
heroes?
pretty much all of his survivability based items, BKB, mobility items. But now he actually just needs to hit things. And, well, Moonshot's pretty good. And hey, look at that. Sharks not quite getting picked off because the Burn Strike misses.
Yep, oh, there's that tornado EMP. But immediately glimpsed back, so. Thought they were gonna fight in that choke point, but not gonna be the case there. Solari didn't get any new spells. Could break the Medusa's Lincolns, but Medusa is very farmed at this point.
Dire structures.
Man,
Calling it right now, the first time Sharks actually initiate a fight is going to be a big win. A big team fight win for them. Whenever that happens.
Dire's middle tower has
Yeah,
fallen.
we'll see if they do initiate at all. I think catching the Phoenix would be good. Catching the Omni Knight would be good as well.
Catching anyone would be good. Like, at this point, literally anybody, if you blink Hex them. But they just
Oh,
can't
Slash
find
Strike! He
them.
TP's out! Oh! Well, that was unfortunate. So close to the streak
Is that the
ending.
first epicenter of the game?
Well, it probably isn't, but it's been rare. Oh, Rubik.
Nope.
Gonna push up middle. Help out the Axe. But Axe is probably gonna run into the bird again. Another smoke.
Medusa's almost 6 slotted. Moon Shards, Dragon Lance upgrade level 2.
Rapier.
Travels.
Let's go.
She's getting there. Sharks will at that point really struggle. Invoker's powerful in the late game, but
Oh.
up against such
He's getting
tanky
scanned
targets
down.
like
Whoa!
like-
What a sick movement there, but he gets hexed and immediately gonna get hit by that sun ray, and well, he will go down. I thought that blink was cool, but it looks like the full surround here from EC will pick him off. And that's 85 seconds on the sidelines. Without that buyback, no, I'm not gonna buy back just yet, but still it's a long cooldown to wait. Roshan is up.
And well,
gotta
still
jump
waiting
this.
for someone on Sharks to initiate on someone on EC. Again, when that happens, it's gonna be great for Sharks,
Under attack.
but they're kind of running out of time just by messing around around the map. Like, again, Nox is just
Oh, Invoker
demolishing
buys back.
towers.
But I
Or
don't
never
know.
Sharks.
Has fallen.
They don't want to give this Rex away.
Oh, OD.
EMP.
Top barracks are under attack.
Takes him down, but meanwhile the top barracks are actually taking quite a bit of damage here. The Rex goes down though, and now the call comes in. The Medusa getting caught out. He's out of mana for a build out, so there'll be no ulti from him. This is a big deafening plus. The epicenter as well coming in, but it's not doing a lot of damage. The BKB on that OD is going to ensure that he throws out big fat orbs onto enemies. Tolera taking 2 orbs now. The Invoker will finish him off. A nice buyback there. They forced the TP back to Timbersaw, and as a result they lose a huge fight. This could be Roshan that they're surrendering here, because this Invoker bought back. I think he might want a Roshan, or at least bait out some buybacks before going into that Rosh Pit. And this is a big opportunity for them to go in here. It's a very fat Medusa. He almost certainly has to buy back, I think. The Sand King doesn't have his ulti to hold the line anymore. And maybe Timbersaw can hold the line, I don't know. But it's 50 seconds, but they'll have to do it without him. And if they drag it too long, the Timber might get caught himself. So have to play careful here.
You know what happened in that fight? They got the call on the Medusa. That's
Yep.
it. Like, it's
Oh
that
no,
easy.
Hex on the OD. They force stuff him out. Is there another BKB? But instant lift there. Very nice, and holy crap! They take out that Sand King. He's now died back. Meanwhile, the Sun, the epicenter on Solari. He's gonna jump in there, just pound away at that Phoenix. Still no Sand King, still no Medusa. Medusa holding on that buyback. Alacrity on Invoker. Pew, 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 pew. He can't die again though. He doesn't have buyback. He has to be careful. X getting the call here onto that Timbersaw. The repel goes down. There might be a Hex. The silence comes out from Zenny. And now the Hex goes out. The Lotus Orb though will Hex the Invoker. But now the Timbersaw is dead. He'll have to buy back. They glimpse back Omni Knight. He's co-snapped up. They lose him. Shark is going to Hex up the Phoenix. And now they go on the bird. They take him out. They turn the bird into a pig. And now the Tornado stalling up that Timbersaw. They might go for a full retreat. They have forced out so many buybacks here. EC have burned through so many resources and only just to hold their X. And I think now Sharks can confidently strut into that Rosh Pit and be happy. Wow, owned me. This is a very tilt play. Jumping into that neutral camp.
You know what Sharks are looking for right now? They're waiting. They're hoping that someone EC gets a little bit stupid and goes into the mid lane and then gets picked off, and then it's GG. But they're not gonna get that. They'll have to settle just for Roshan, Aegis Cheese. Oh no, how terrible! But
Yeah.
I mean, just I called it right. Like as soon as Sharks get the initiation, the fight turns complete 180. They actually are able to fight. They
Yeah,
got it.
I
on the
think
mid
it's-
lane to knock the Medusa. They got it a couple more times over on the top lane now. It just makes such a huge difference, and it's about frickin' time that it happened.
Yeah, they've been pussyfooting around the entire game. And the thing is, it was also due to the Medusa being careless, letting herself get hit by the EMP and then dropping to a really low pool of mana. So even when she got out of the Hex, she was unable to use her ulti. So the ulti would have changed everything. But right now,
Now the
they're in a
OD
precarious
showing
position.
OD is showing off how powerful he is. 17, 1, and 7. He can eat the moon shards and get Shivas, maybe something
think
along
right now
those
he's just
lines. But
saving
you know,
for
get
buyback.
something else that's huge and heavy hitting.
He already hits really hard. Do you see how fast he threw out those orbs with the moonshot uneaten?
Yeah, it's scary.
Like, the
Medusa
Sand
has
King was
evasion.
hexed for like 3 seconds and he just disappeared.
Turns out, if you blink Hex as an OD with BKB just on any given target, you're probably gonna get that kill because you do so much damage.
Yeah, and then you're stealing a lot of int as well, so when you drop the hammer, it's a lot of damage as well. The Eclipse, just so stupid.
And of course, you know, it's kind of a snowball. Like, you get one kill as OD, makes the second kill and the third kill that much easier. You won't have the sheep stick, obviously, for all of them, but whatever, man. You'll just have, like, plus 68, I think. Int was his end tally at the last fight. Or a double damage rune. Ugh. That's a lot of damage.
Ranged slot. Seems good.
I don't know if Slark can even contest with this in OD right now.
Yeah, I've seen fat slots as well, and those guys... I think I've seen a slot go up to like 400 base damage before. It's pretty crazy.
Shit. That's,
Stole
that's
so
no joke,
much.
dude.
I don't know, wait, was it 400? Maybe 300, but it was pretty high. Like base
400
damage.
sounds like unrealistically high.
300? I think it's possible.
300, yeah, I mean, that's still ridiculous, but...
Yeah, but he was
kind of
hitting for
more
so
believable.
long. It was like 80, it was like 80 agility stolen or something. He was just standing there hitting,
I
and
don't know.
there were graves, and then there were like health healings and stuff. There were Aegises, and he just stood there and hit everything, and they didn't kill him. All right.
Just Slark things. OD can do it too.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Sharks are looking to perform the backbreaker here. Will EC crumble finally after a 51-minute slugfest? EMP again, this time the Medusa has to be careful. The repel is on her. We'll keep her alive. And I think the most impressive part about this whole thing is Sharks didn't even bother with Diffusal Blade.
I'm not sure if I would call that impressive or foolish.
Needlessly
Diffusal Blade
foolish.
can save
Oh,
himself.
nice Deafening Blast. Look at that. Can't be dispelled as well, Deafening Blast, apparently. And yeah, this is going to be blasting away at that Rax. They get a ranged Rax. Pretty negligible at this point. Even I think Mega Creeps are negligible unless Medusa dies. They have to end it.
Still, any Rax is better than no Rax. They're making very slow progress. Mid lane's pushing in because the melee Rax being taken down earlier. They will back off and spread out. This is...
2 minutes on
Yeah,
Aegis.
it's hard to go in on that top lane. Like we just saw, Medusa was not easy to dislodge. But time is ticking. Aegis is something that Sharks kind of have to use to break base at this point.
Well, we'll see what happens. It's still quite rough. Senny. He gets scouted by an Observer Ward. They know what's up. Just scouting for now. Oh, Invoker using that Ghost Walk. He could see Tolera here. Might start the heck. Just start on it. I think, yes, he goes. Starts right up. That Lotus Orb is there to dispel this. But the Tomato is going to start things off. Going to slow things down. But now Nox deploys their Stone Gaze. They're going to turn away from him. Nice Deafening Blast stops the Medusa from shooting. He doesn't have a BKB to dispel this. So he will be standing around doing nothing for a while. The Sun is there. They're active. OD gonna get stunned. He has that BKB though. They're shooting away at him. He could be going down. Nice force stuff. Keeps him alive for now. Keeps him healthy. This two chomping away. Stormer. The Sun Strike is there. Gonna do some damage. Nox still doing a lot of damage. No! Oh, the crazy hammer takes out two right away. The Aegis will respawn the Invoker. Nice Timbersaw there. Takes out the Axe, but Axe has been dying all game. Nothing of value was lost. Nox. Manta dodges the EMP. Big play so far. Rubik very low. They're staying safely for now. Nox pops the Lotus Orb on him, but the OD destroys the Timbersaw, and now the last one left standing. Medusa, the last hero left in this game. Gonna be standing her ground, doing damage, doing a lot of damage actually to this Axe, but is it gonna be enough? Oh, nice banish here from the OD, keeps himself alive. No, Nox almost getting dunked there, but getting the last hit in. Nox dropping very low, glimpsing it back. Is there gonna be a kill split shot? Okay, they're not gonna take that risk, but damn man, that Medusa is so low. None of the Radiant heroes have buyback. Come on guys, just clean it up in the regen rune. Oh, slash strike. Which god did you pray to? Oh,
Easy rune, dude. Easy.
Oh man, I think the Medusa surviving there was just so insane. It might have just saved.
OD, like
Easy
he
there.
missed so many attacks on that Medusa at the very end of that. That fight was also just again a clown fiesta where Slash Strike blinks in without BKB turned on, just gets stun locked forever there. Yeah, still they're able to turn it around because of a great OD ultimate and Disruptor ultimate as well. It's comboed perfectly together. But OD is gonna jump in on someone. He sees everyone. Oh.
I think it's...
Well, everyone EC is back. They're going to try to force a buyback right now, but Axe does not have one.
Yeah, and that's what OD is doing. He's gonna look to push a Rex. Maybe draw a hero back, but if he gets hexed here, he could be dropping his streak. He has buyback. I think he's willing to take that risk and try and buy his Axe a little bit of time, but Medusa ain't gonna have any of that. He's gonna run straight up to the top lane and start firing at this Rex. So, OD, you can't push bases that fast. You can kill people, but you can't push bases that fast. Oh, they're gonna do it. Invoker buys back into the game. Immediately fortify, and I think the TP should be coming now.
Force the buyback.
Oh, there's the chain though. OD gets hacked. No, he hacks us fast. Now there's the buyback here. The BKB immediately be popped. They will battle strike for nothing. The double BKBs get popped there. Tolero as well as OD. No, they're gonna back off there. They don't have true sight to scout out the Sand King. And well, this game is getting extra tense here, Bush. Not as rich as the Omni Knight we saw last game.
OD needs to spend some gold. Like, he so desperately needs to use some of that cash. I have a feeling it's going to be eat
Bloodthorn?
moon shards into MKB to get around that Medusa evasion. Doesn't Bloodthorn also get around that somehow? Like a...
Bloodthorn gets around that.
Yeah,
It gives you more crit as well, but it's the only problem is it could be Mantat away, it could be Lotus off, so maybe if you want to be more reliant on just your clicking, you go MKB.
But, I mean, just get one of those, right? Just get some way of hitting the Medusa every single time. Because that butterfly is saving her bacon. And the end result of, like, everything, like, you know, buybacks being spent, whatever, is still just a range racks in favor of Sharks. That is entirely irrelevant in this game. So with no more Aegis, is there still cheese? I don't know, but we're pretty much back at square one.
Yep, and for you guys just tuning in, I don't know where you were for the rest of the series, but Sharks and EC are now playing their second game. EC hanging on the ropes, the score is wrong, the moderator got it wrong. Sharks is 1-0 up, so winning one more would close up this BO3 and send EC home. But if EC win this, they equalize and we go to game 3. And of course, this game turns out to be a real crazy one with a Medusa, could go to Mega Creeps, could end up as a base race, could be anticlimactic with people dying without buybacks. We'll see. We will see. Now a pause comes out. Looks like maybe someone needs to go to the bathroom.
Rubik has Diffusal Blade.
Oh yay!
Finally, right?
Finally! Someone has a sense to get Diffusal Blade.
Oh, I think for Sharks, if they can somehow... Well, I mean, keep the Rubik farming, get, you know, those kind of utility-ish items, that'll be great. The biggest utility item they can probably get is an Aghanim Static Storm, actually. Just muting those items. Getting rid of Yule Scepters, very important. Sheep Sticks, very important. If they could somehow do that, that'll be amazing for them. But Disruptor is not exactly a farming hero, so I'm not really sure if that's in the cards.
I think the most important one is the MKB now. For your OD, like you mentioned, it's gonna be
800. How much is MKB? 5,400. He has enough to get it and still have buyback.
Yeah. Eat that moonshot, buddy. It doesn't taste that bad. Tastes like victory. Yeah. Well, in game 1, you did say that 2-0 is still in the cards, but I don't think we expected 2 50-minute games. We might even go to game 3.
This one is at least, you know, not a passive farm fest.
Yeah, this one's just a slaughter fest.
It's, you know, Medusa farm fest.
All
I
right.
think all the cores are pretty much topped out in this game.
If only we had an alchemist. Kappa.
Aghanims for everyone. I want to see what this axe can get. Did he just get an item, or he just bought back? I guess he has Lotus. He has Travels. I think he's had the Lotus for a long time. This is why I'm kind of like off Axe as like a hero. I'm not a huge fan of him. Like early game, you can sometimes snowball and just win the game off of that. But later stage, like you're a Blink Berserker's call. Battle Hunger, even Counter Helix doesn't really do all that much damage.
You can get Dunk. Dunk gives your team move speed. That's pretty cool.
I feel like the Calling Blade is almost better to like... I mean, you're not going to do this, but I feel like the value if you do this is higher if you just dunk a creep and just get the buff for the team as opposed to like saving it and try to go for that assassination with the kill threshold.
Maybe if you go for Aghanims you can, because the cooldown will be really low.
Yeah. 6 seconds as opposed to 55.
Yeah.
But Ags is nowhere close for him. He's poor now.
Axe also increases the kill threshold.
I mean, these heroes are... I mean, the kill threshold would have been great to dealing with that Medusa before, if you recall. An additional 400 damage pure nuke that kills you immediately would have been pretty good. Or I guess 500 something, 550.
No, I think he
again,
he
like,
leapt up for the dunk, but then he got killed mid animation. That was just really
I'm pretty
bad.
sure he missed.
No, you can't miss a dunk.
No, I mean, he like missed the kill threshold.
No, he didn't miss. He died mid animation. That was really stupid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, either way, it didn't work. So.
The thing about that was that if the Medusa had gone down, I think Sharks could have looked for more pressure there. Maybe even a maybe even the top racks going down. Now the melee racks is just healing up slowly. These Lotus Orbs are huge this game because of how many hexes there are.
Yeah. You could somehow reflect a hex. You're feeling
Not even
really good
reflect
about
the
your
hex,
game.
Lotus Orb removes hex, so pretty insane.
Well, yeah, I mean, but there's like, hex is always that X factor. Like, if you just somehow get a random hex, you can just straight up win the game off of a pickoff. But if you reflect it, you can straight up win the game off of a reflected hex. There's like so much potential there with that item outside of being able to move. Also, check out Solari's Stolen Spell. Split Shot Diffusal Blade Rubik.
Alright.
Sick DPS.
Got him. Rubik has a pretty nice split shot animation as well, shooting on the green bolts. Well, Invoker, what's he at now? Same stuff. I don't think Invoker's spells no, Invoker's items are gonna change. This Rubik hits pretty fast. Oh man.
Got the agility from the Diffusal Blade, I guess. Some stats in the Aghanim Scepter. His agility is actually, I mean, he's level 21, right? So it should be
Grand
fast attack
Magus
speed.
ain't playing around.
I think it's time for Invoker to Moonshard.
Ooh, the Rubik might tank the gank here. Yeah, he's gonna tank the gank up. Okay. Better him than Invoker.
He has a gem though, or had a gem, I guess.
Rip split shot.
the biggest loss. He doesn't have split shot anymore. What a
Oh, they're going
disaster.
Roshan, Rubik. Oh man, you might have died for a good cause. Oh, they're going for that. They're going for that disruptor. And a nice glimpse there. And because the disruptor showed himself, they're not gonna expect this. So this is gonna be huge. Invoker drops his scythe though. Drops blink, I think. That's better. Get the Aegis, and I think this could be potentially game winning. But Nox going for that. Oh, going for that Aegis. The limbs gonna pull him back away from the racks. Tornado's gonna start EMP once again. Nope, a little bit off the combo. But Invoker does have that. And the Rubik buys back into the game. Now walking into that ice path is gonna slow him considerably, but Nox has that moonshot eaten up already, so he shoots pretty fast. Shield broken, going in. OD has the Bloodthorn, but no, BKB, OD pops that BKB, has to turn around now. The Lotus Orb comes down, and man, Axiseki so much damage, he pops the cheese right away, but the gaze is off. You don't want to take that kind of crazy risk. Top step hex, is there another Bloodthorn there? At least they get the Bloodthorn, they do it, look at the hits, he picks out the Medusa, down he goes. Epicenter does pretty much nothing at this point. Slash strike is very low. Purify Steel here from the Rubik. Own me now has to pull out the Medusa, forced to buy back immediately. And well, might have been a little bit too hasty, but you can bet your ass that shots are gonna make him buy back one way or another. So he might as well buy back now. But man, that Bloodthorn made the Medusa melt, man.
That was even after a mistake from OD, like jumping in without BKB, getting immediately stunned. Great recognition from Stormstormer actually to use the Tornado to get OD to safety. Otherwise, it would have been OD to fall as well, and then he has to buy back, and then things get really dangerous. But that was just a clean win for the Shark side. I don't think they use any resources death-wise, like no buybacks there.
Yeah, no buybacks, no Sanity's
Oh no,
Eclipse.
Rubik did buyback. So
Okay,
there
yeah.
is that. But it's a Rubik. At the end of the day, it's not really the end of the world. So Sharks now have a pretty good chance at straight up winning a game. It's going to be a fight into the enemy base, which is problematic. But there is no Supernova. There is no GA for 75 seconds.
No gaze for 10
and
seconds.
Sharks they should have all their ults. They even have the Sandy's Eclipse still.
Yeah. Tornado EMP is gonna start things off again. They put a zoning EMP. And they plunk away at the tower. And Akuti, and now they're going for the call there onto the Medusa. This is big. If they get the Medusa Bloodthorn, where's that Bloodthorn? They hex him up. Look at the Lotus off. They're just keeping him alive on the Sunstrike. Blows out the Medusa. Medusa will tick. He ticks. He's dead without buyback. And this will be big. This is huge for them. They're gonna back off there. The Purify still coming in. Rubik getting the most value spell steal. Slash Strike is just not having any of this. The Barrel Strike gonna be missed. That dodge that by that OD. This could be Easy's end. Die back on Medusa. Die back on Sand King. This is huge. They even glimpse him back. He's forced to Supernova ahead of time. And this Timbersaw doing his best there with the double Aghanim's getting purged there by the bloody Rubik, getting caught by the Bloodthorn, and the Purify is not gonna be enough to keep him alive. 3 dead. The buyback coming out maybe, but oh man, this Rubik just Stalin there with that Icarus dive. not gonna do enough. The X buys back into the game, says, let me get the hand of that bird. Really wants to pound that bird. Wow, so much damage. 2 hits there on that. Omni Knight takes him out, and might go for the rampage. He does. Seals this game with 5 kills in a row. And he doesn't even go down to the tower. Banishes himself. And this is why OD is banned so much in the current meta game. Maybe Phoenix tries for the snipe there with that beam, but he's probably gonna get punished. Deal with their revenge kill. Is he gonna get it? It is going to be that grunge mash dunk. He gets it. He gets it finally after hours, 1 hour of torment from the bird. He gets the torment, gets the revenge kill, and EC are pretty shell shocked at this point. They are out, but don't call it just yet.
Flashback can't afford to die to no creeps here. That'll be embarrassing. He has buyback, so even if he does, it's not the end of the world. Yeah, that was just kind of a messy fight there for EC. It was Dale going ham to get the initiation off.
Might get the OD at last. Does he? Nope,
Oh,
he's
20
still...
HP!
Okay, got him. Finally.
Gets clubbed by Omni Knight. What a way to go.
But yeah, good game.
Game.
Well,
The
that was...
difference maker. The difference maker in this game, when
Initiate.
Sharks get the initiation, they win the fight. When they don't get the initiation, they get slaughtered. You just gotta blink Hex with BKB up, YOLO in, and usually you're gonna be okay. And they got it at the end. That was what happened in the last fight. Medusa got blink called and she just got obliterated.
And there were so many layers of protection. There was a repel, 2 Lotus Orbs, I think. I'm not sure how many there were. So much shielding on the Medusa, and the only thing I think it came down was the Medusa not choosing to tech to BKB. I think she had so much money, she should have tried to go BKB. I don't know if she had money at the end, but BKB was clearly a crucial point there. Getting Hex was just out of the question. And Lotus Orb can reflect spells, but when the target's hexing you have BKB on, the Hex doesn't go back. You're still hexed, so it's yeah, pretty crushing defeat here for EC. They held on really long, but in the end, Sharks, impressive. Oh.
Able to take a huge win after however many minutes. Slash Strike's positioning has been pretty good the entire game. Again, I'm kind of concerned for Sanguine Sharks in the future because their early game is looking kind of rough. Like, yes, this is a win, but it's not really like a 2-0 stomped them into the floor kind of win. Their next opponent is Imperial. You can't get away with this type of play up against Imperial. Like, they will punish you.
Yeah, and Imperial are very good at early game domination. They got some really wonky drafts. It's going to be rough, man. Baby Knight doesn't take prisoners, so we'll see what Sharks can do against them. But that's a story for another day, and for now, we're going to be signing off. It's been a long evening of some bloodthirsty EU Dota. But yeah, thanks for joining me, Mike. We'll see you guys on another day. I'm not sure what the dates are, but the Dota 2 Champions League Season 9 will be right back at a later date. So stay tuned on the Twitters on top right corner for updates, and of course, the big shout out to our sponsors, Epic Esports Events, as well as Face It for running this tournament. And thank you guys for watching. And yeah, good night, good afternoon, good morning from wherever you are. Signing off. Be nice to one another. Bye bye.